Hey, what's up everybody? Coach Kyle here. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up, subscribe for future content, and look back at the old videos. There's a ton of them. I want to give a quick piece of advice for long runs when it's cold out, moderately cold out. And an issue with these types of runs in these types of conditions is that you still sweat and you're wearing a lot of gear. And this is in contrast to a long run when it's 70 degrees outside. You sweat, but you're not wearing a ton. You might sweat through a t-shirt or something in your shorts. So what? But right now, like if I'm gonna go out for a run in 30, 40 degrees in a sweater and a t-shirt under it, maybe it's a little colder, maybe I'm wearing a little more, a little thicker coat, and I'm gonna sweat through that. I might not need these gloves. The temperature could be 10 degrees warmer for the last 5 miles than it was for the first 5 miles of a long, moderately cold winter run. So when I do runs like this, there's two options. Number one is to do a loop, go back home halfway, change clothes. I've done some really cold, really long runs where I've literally sweat through the outer layer and it is frozen solid. So I'd like to not repeat that scenario. So in cases like that, I might do a loop. So if I'm doing 10 miles, if I'm doing 10 miles, a loop, change, do 10 more miles, 20 miler, and it's just going to be a little better than doing a 20 miler with the last half just soaked. Another option is what I'm doing today. It's not super cold out, but it's cold enough where I'm going to want a headband, gloves. So I brought a pack with me, and what I'll do is I'll probably end up throwing these gloves and the headband into the back of the pack. I got my Cotopaxi, and because you go out 10 miles, whatever, you go out, typically I go out into the headwind, and I'm going to come back with a tailwind. So it's going to be a lot warmer because I'm coming back with a tailwind, and it's just going to be another hour and a half later. So it's just the temperature is going to be warmer. The sun is going to feel hotter. So in cases like that, I'll strip down and I'll put them in the pack. So there's two things you can do to make long, cold runs a little more tolerable when it comes to gear. Also, don't forget that you're sweating still. So I do often supplement with electrolytes before a long run. That might have me losing a lot of hydration because I tend to get headaches after long, hot runs. Something else to consider is that you might just maybe finish up on the treadmill at home. I've done that at times too, where if I have a 10 miler, for example, I'll do 7 outside and I'll do 3 indoors. So what? Big deal. Treadmills are great, okay? Don't let people put you down because you run on a treadmill sometimes. So those are a few tips for long, moderately cold or fucking cold runs when you're wearing gear and you might have to deal with some sweat issues.